Hi everyone, I'm Fabio for HiHats Project. Today I'm gonna present you this new product from Sinido. This is the TempoKey Key 25. It's a MIDI controller with 25 keys. It's a pretty simple unit, pretty compact unit, but inside this Sinido TempoKey K25 are hidden lots of amazing features for production. So also considering the price of this TempoKey K25, receiving also a carry bag with also inside you have the power cable, so 5 volts to the USB. Then it's also provided the MIDI cable to connect. It's also of course provided this lovely USB cable, USB type B to USB type C. Really lovely because it's really thick. It's round, so I think all it's talked very well, and it's also provided an USB adapter if you want to connect from USB type A to USB-C. So if you have only USB-C, basically like my MacBook Pro, so I have only USB-C Thunderbolt connection, so I can also use that adapter. Talking about the TempoKey, let's start from the connection. As you can see here on the back, we have the connection for the MIDI, which is provided, of course, the cable, the USB Type-C to connect to your PC, the sustain, if you have a pedal sustain, you can connect it, and of course, the power. Right now, I'm not using the power, as you can see. I'm only using the USB-C cable, because if you use a powered device, for example, a MacBook Pro, you don't need any power, okay? If instead you want to use MIDI connection, so the MIDI port to another device, you will need, of course, 5 volts, if you are not connected with USB-C, of course. So let's start talking about this TempoKey Key 25. As you can see here, you have the pitch, is soft touch. So as you can see, when you release, basically it's going again in the default position in the middle. This is the modulation. Instead, this will stay on the position that you will place. Then you have the overall master volume here. As you can see, this is a really tiny description LCD for you, so you can see what is going on. Everything, when you touch something, as soon as you touch something, is immediately displayed the CC channel and also some useful description. For example, if I change the knob, here is written knob A and knob B, pad A and pad B. You have here all the settings for the transpose, so you can transpose minus, I don't know how much, -6 and +6, I guess, yes. You can also going down with the octave, up to -4 and up octave +4. Modulation, pitch. Very simple. Then you have these 8 pads, but basically you have 16 pads because you can change the pad bank, white and orange. White is the pad A, then you can go up. The same you can do for the knob. As you can see, you have knob bank A and knob bank B, and these are the knobs. As soon as you touch the knob, you can see that this is the CC9 channel 1, and you can see the value. This is CC10, and so on and so forth. And you can, of course, assign whatever you want here because it's MIDI, and you can also change all these different channels. So all these CC controls you can change with the software that I'll show you in a moment. You can also control, as you can see, your DAW. For example, I have here my Studio One DAW, and I can show you that, for example, I can record and it's starting recording because I've assigned everything. I can start playing, I can stop, I can rewind, and I can play it. Okay, this is an example. I'm a guitarist, so I'm not able to play keyboard, but I can explain everything how it works. You can also adjust with the loop, create or not a loop, and so on and so forth. Now, let's talk about, in my opinion, the most important feature of this tempo key is this part here, the tap tempo, arpeggiator. So we have the harp arpeggiator, as you can see, fixed velocity and not repeat. So fixed velocity, really simple. Without fixed velocity, I can play also really soft. If I play fixed velocity, you always hit at, I think, as the hardest possible, so 127 of velocity value. Now let's focus on the arpeggiator, because I think it's the most important feature. As you can see here, you can see some writing stuff. So this is for the tempo. You can see up, down, exclude, include, order, rand, latch, octave, 1, 2, 3, 4, and also the swing. What does it mean? Well, if I engage the arpeggiator, as you can see here is written something. All the information, all this information, as you can see. Latch is off. If now I press a random key, it's doing this trilling basically. And it's changing if I press something together. You can understand better if I change the tempo. So for example, pressing and holding the arp, you can change everything here. So I can change 1/16, 1/8, 1/4. You can go to, I don't know, up, okay? And let's change to 2 octave, okay? And the swing, 50%. So let's listen. What does it mean? So basically, it's doing an 1/8 for the tempo. It's going up, and how much? 2 octave. So it's pressing this K, and it's pressing also the octave upper. If I change to 3 octave, okay, 4 octave, okay, it's playing basically all the octave, all the 4 different octaves in 1/8 as tempo. So if I change now faster tempo, 1/3, it's creating this arpeggiator, and it's really interesting. And if I change the type of the arpeggiator, so for example order, it's playing in order, so from the lower to the upper. And this is interesting if you use different keys together. And I can also change, for example, to exclude. Exclude basically going with the scale up and then goes again down. It's really cool. And you can also place random, for example. The swing instead is the changing in time between the first note and the second note. How? Well, let's place, for example, something really understandable. 1/8 up and 2 octave, for example. Okay, so this is swing 50%. It's equal. If I change now with the arp to 64%, tan 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 tan, it's changing the pattern. And this is interesting if you play also different keys. bass also 132. It's interesting also to use the latch mode, and I can play and release, and it's going. Really cool. And you can also change the tempo, of course. With the tap tempo you can go to the arpeggio, and basically this is one, for example, the 130. Okay. Faster. Slower. Okay. So it's really cool and really easy to use. Of course, you can change the sound according to what you want to play. So it's continuing to trigger. Something with the drum. Okay, it's changing the octave. So for example, I can engage the arpeggio, maybe 116. Let's place the up 3 octave. Let's listen. The only thing that I don't like, and I'd like to have an update in this way, is that if you want to change the kind of arpeggiator, basically will stop, because you have to press the arpeggiator and will stop the sound. So, for example, it's playing because there is the latch mode, and if I want to change on the fly, I have to press arp, and it's stopping, and this is not good. And then I have to change, for example, 1/8 and release. And now it's playing because I'm using the latching mode on. But you have this sort of lag because you have to change the settings, and changing the setting, the sound will stop. So I prefer to have an update in this way. So when I press ARP to change, I still want to listen to the sound because I'm preparing the second sound, for example. Okay, so I want now the order, and I want, for example, 1/32T and the swing at 50%. I release. It's strange, of course, but I want to have continuous sound. Talking about the overall stability, it is really stable. So I really like, and it's also really light. I like also the material used. Seems plastic, but you have also some metal here for the knobs. They are continuous without any click. I really like, and of course these are all assignable. Let me now show you the software to assign everything. Here it is. As you can see, it's telling me device connected. So as you can see, you have the representation of the Sinido Tempo Key K25. So you have here the bars, as you can see, and as you can see, it's telling you everything about the hardware. So you can see the key both in number and in notes. You can see the channel. You can change everything here. So you can map whatever you want here, and it's working very well. This is for the pad A, then for the pad B, knob A, knob B. As you can see, it's telling you minimum and maximum. You can also customize minimum and maximum as you want. If you want to have, for example, larger range from 1 to 127, or if you want only short range, so with a minimum of movement, you can have the sound that you want, and you can do that. Here you can see everything for the arpeggiator, for tempo, mode. As you can see, you can change everything also on the fly here. Also for the transpose, you can change for the transport, for example, as you can see, that is momentary or toggle. You can change it. Of course, for this is better to have momentary. While for the, as you can see, the rack and play is toggle. Then you can change everything here for the modulation. So it's a really simple software to manage everything about this hardware side. So guys, you have the link in the description. So guys, it was Fabio for HiHertz Project. I think it's an amazing unit, really simple to use, really simple to connect, very, very fast. You don't need any sort of driver. Well, actually, I'm using this for Mac. Maybe for Windows, you will need some driver. I really liked that you have included also a gig back and also provided with a MIDI and also every cable you need. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.